Oh my god, I feel like Nicole Kidman in Moulin Rouge.
Emily in Paris was one of the favorite shows to come out in 2020's production year. In a year that many shows had to halt production midway, it was nice to be able to watch a fresh new series that had a lot going for it. After Netflix released the show, it was all on the top 10 list of the most watched and most popular. It was definitely one of the most talked about shows of the year. Not always in a good way, but will we be seeing more of Emily and her new life in the city of love? This is Emily in Paris Season 2 latest updates. But be warned, there are a lot of spoilers ahead, so if you haven't watched the show yet, what are you waiting for? We will be here waiting for you when you finish. If you enjoyed this video, please like it, subscribe to our channel, and turn on notifications. Then you will never miss out on anything. Firstly, what was the show all about? You guessed it. It is about an American girl, Emily, that goes to Paris. Emily lives in Chicago, and her boss is on her way to Paris for a new job. But when she learns that she is pregnant, the job is offered to Emily instead. Emily accepts and is on her way. She leaves behind her old life, including her boyfriend in Chicago, for this once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. But man, is she unprepared for what is waiting for her. She has no idea what she got herself into or what she is about to face. She can't speak a word of French, and her new co-workers are less than welcoming. At the same time, she is a little on the clueless side, so she makes loads of mistakes. That doesn't add to making her new life any easier. At the same time, there are definite perks to the new situation. She meets some awesome guys along the way and makes some new friends. And of course, being able to explore Paris would be a dream come true for many people. But while being one of the most popular new shows around, it was also one of the most polarizing. For all the people who absolutely adored it, there were just as many people who really hated it. It comes from the creator of Sex and the City, and some have said that it's really just the same thing, only it's based on a different city. Not that would be a negative to a lot of people, but the critics have also claimed that there wasn't a lot of depth to the characters, especially the main character, Emily. They say she's just a very one-dimensional character, and her biggest personality trait is her fashion and her ability to get into trouble. I don't agree with this. Don't get me wrong, the way Emily can get herself into the worst possible situations imaginable is definitely part of her charm, but it isn't all there is to her. She just started showing us who she really is, and there's still much more to learn about her. Emily is in a new and difficult situation. Her entire life has been turned upside down, so I think we will only see all the parts of her personality in upcoming seasons. But the biggest criticism of the show wasn't that it was stereotyping the French and Parisians in particular. With so many critics against Emily in Paris, it was almost ensured that the show would be a giant flop. But it wasn't! People loved the show! Why was it so popular, you ask? I think it was because the show provided us with an escape when we most needed it. In a year that we were all stuck inside our houses and not going anywhere, Emily was going to Paris and starting a new adventure. While we were eating quarantine meals on the couch, Emily was exploring the city and all the restaurants it had to offer. We got to live through her. While most of us wouldn't want all the moments she had, we wouldn't mind going on an adventure right now. Emily gave that to us. And the fact that the characters are charming and kept us entertained helped too. So, has Emily in Paris officially been renewed? Yes, we're definitely getting another season of this show. And this says a lot about the amount of viewers and popularity of its first season. In the last few years, Netflix has canceled quite a number of shows before they had a chance to really build momentum. So it is really great news we're going to be getting a season 2. Has the cast started on production of season 2 yet? No, they have not. Production is set to begin around April 2021, but this depends on a lot of factors. It is important to remember that the show is almost entirely shot in Paris. With the global health situation still going strong, we hope it doesn't delay production. The first priority would, of course, be the safety of the cast and crew, but hopefully things have calmed down a little by then, and the numbers are small enough for it to be safe to return to shooting. So what most of us really want to know is when we will get to see Emily in Paris season 2. Sadly, we don't know yet. Netflix hasn't given any official release dates. I suspect they can't be sure themselves because they don't know how the global health situation will affect production. If the show does get to start around April and run to about July, we might still see it this year. It takes a few months of post-production to get the show ready to be aired. Normally, Netflix would release like this one on a yearly basis, so we would expect to see season 2 around October, but I don't think that would be nearly enough time to finish it. My prediction is that we will be watching season 2 more towards the end of the year or maybe even at the beginning of next year. Still, it all depends on if production is able to start on time. If it doesn't, it might be much longer than that before we are able to get the answers that season 1 left us with. Who will be returning to the shows for season 2? Most of the cast had already shown interest in returning to the characters, and now Darren Star, the creator of Emily in Paris, has said that the entire cast will be returning for season 2. Yes! So it seems that none of us have to worry about the show losing any of our favorite characters. Hopefully the production schedule will stay the same and there won't be any scheduling conflicts that can create a problem. Then we should see the whole cast reunited in Paris soon. So, what can we expect from season 2? Darren has said that he has a lot of ideas of where the show is heading, but no concrete written storyline yet. So we will have to wait and see just where the story leads. But Darren and the cast have revealed little bits of information from where they think Season 2 might be headed, and where each character might end up. What does Season 2 hold for Emily? Hopefully few less mistakes. Darren has said that Emily will start to find her place in Paris more during Season 2. She won't be as out of place as she was during Season 1 and start to be more comfortable with her surroundings. She's going to start to feel more like a resident of Paris than a visitor. At the same time, she will be working hard to balance her work and personal life. Not only does she succeed in making a place for herself in Savoir, but she will also be facing other difficult choices. At the end of Season 1, we saw her kissing Gabriel, but with his ex-girlfriend Camille being one of her best friends, things are sure to get tricky. Even more because Camille might not be completely informed of what Gabriel thinks the relationship status is, or what she knows about the feelings between Gabriel and Emily. Gabriel thought that he was leaving Paris, but now that he is staying, things are sure to get way more complicated in this love triangle. There are a lot of feelings hanging in the air. There have even been hints that there are feelings from Camille to Emily. Then we shouldn't forget about Matthew, who's also still in the running for Emily's heart. We haven't explored their relationship that much yet, but what we have seen makes it seem like it really could be a really steady, healthy way for Emily to go. It could create some serious extra layers to an already complicated situation. Mindy has also moved in with Emily, so we will get to see more of her. Mindy has quickly become one of my favorite characters in the entire series, and with her now living with Emily, I'm sure she will be around even more. She's been a great friend since Emily has moved to Paris, and it's fun to see her own development. Living with Emily will mean that she will be more involved with other people around Emily, the other side of her world. She was a bit separate from the rest of the characters, so it will be fun to see her interacting with everyone. With her new job as an MC and singer, we can expect to see more music from Mindy, and hopefully this will be the season that we get to see Mindy getting a love interest. What about the rest of the cast? We can expect to get to know everyone better this year. Now that we know more about Emily and her backstory, Darren Star has said that he would like to start showing us more of the rest of the characters and their stories too. So hopefully we will see much more of them and how they got to where they are. I am really excited to see what happens next. I love the first season, and it sounds like Season 2 might even be better. We will have to wait for a while for Season 2, but at least we already know it is happening. So get ready to travel back to Paris soon. Thank you for watching. Until next time.